Massive protests against the government in Iran. At the end of December 2025, ordinary people in Iran began to march in the streets, first in Tehran's Grand Bazaar and other cities. They were tired of soaring prices, the collapse of the currency, and worsening living conditions. What started as economic protests quickly turned into larger demonstrations. Young and old, men and women stepped into the streets demanding change and accountability from the government. By early January 2026, the protests had spread nationwide, reaching cities across Iran as people voiced not only economic grievances, but also deep political discontent. Thousands gathered in Tehran, chanting slogans against the leadership and calling for improved living standards. Scenes of blocked roads and chanting crowds became common. Government forces responded harshly. Security units, including the Revolutionary Guards, were deployed to break up demonstrations with force. On January 8, 2026, authorities cut off internet and telephone services nationwide as protests reached a tipping point. The blackout made communication inside Iran and reporting to the outside world extremely difficult. Videos that still made it out showed scenes of tear gas, clashes between protesters and security forces, and crowds refusing to disperse. The government accused foreign powers and terrorists of trying to destabilize the country, but many Iranians rejected these claims and continued to protest. Human rights organizations reported a severe crackdown, with thousands of protesters injured and hundreds killed, though precise figures were hard to confirm due to the blackout. The death toll became a matter of intense debate. Independent groups estimated more than 6,000 killed, including children and non-protesting civilians, while Iranian state sources acknowledge around 3,117 deaths. Reports from international media and rights activists suggested the true number of victims could be far higher, with some claims estimating the toll in the tens of thousands amid hospital data and eyewitness accounts. The demonstrations were described by observers as the largest in Iran since the 1979 revolution, both in scale and in the breadth of demands. Protesters came from diverse backgrounds, including workers, students, and families, many frustrated by decades of economic hardship and political repression. In some cities, clashes escalated into prolonged street confrontations, and reports emerged of mass shootings and executions during rallies, deepening fears among citizens. International responses varied, with foreign governments condemning the violence and expressing concern for human rights, even as access to independent information within Iran was severely limited. Despite the government's efforts to declare the unrest over, protests continued sporadically as anger and grief spread among families of the victims. The Iranian judiciary pledged that those seen as instigators of the unrest would face punishment, signaling the government's intent to assert control rather than engage in reform. Meanwhile, economic conditions, including inflation and the weakened rial, remained at the heart of the public's dissatisfaction, fueling continued demands for change. The communications blackout, combined with reports of secret burials and restricted hospital access, made outside verification of events difficult, raising fears of a cover-up. For many Iranians and global observers, the protests marked a defining moment of resistance, a mass outcry against long-standing grievances and government repression. As winter turned deeper, the human cost of this nationwide uprising left an indelible mark on Iran's political landscape and sparked international scrutiny of the government's response.